Gus here to review Call of the Sea. Call of the Sea is a first-person adventure puzzle game set in the 1930s that tells the story of Norah, a woman who is on a search for her husband who has gone missing on his expedition. It is available on PC and Xbox One and Series X and S. I'm going to try really hard here to avoid spoilers, which means that some sections that I'd like to put some gameplay footage in might have a little less than appropriate. This review is coming to you in two parts: information for parents and information for gamers. There is no violence depicted in this game, however there is some blood visible at times throughout the play. None of the characters in this game are shown actively using drugs and alcohol. There are, however, some pictures that show characters drinking alcohol as well as smoking cigars or cigarettes. There are a few pictures in the game of a man without his shirt on, but other than that, there is no romance or nudity. Words like damn and hell are the extent of the adult language in this game, and they only appear a couple of times each. The puzzles in this game can be pretty challenging at times. I almost didn't make it through without having to look up some tips online. Despite being non-violent and having very little blood or gore, this game can be very spooky at times. It's hard to explain why without really getting into spoiler land, but if this were a movie or TV show, it would be closer to a Halloween film or an episode of Supernatural than kind of a summer blockbuster. For anyone old enough to remember the Myst game, this is very much a modern love letter to that style of gameplay. The majority of the puzzles are pretty difficult. They require a lot of exploration and careful attention to be paid to the world around you, and all of them just really fun and enjoyable, and some of them are pretty clever. The length of this game is on the short side. It took me about 15 hours to get through it. Even though there isn't a lot of content in this game, all of the content that is there is incredibly enjoyable, and I'm very glad I spent that time with it. The graphics here don't really strive for photorealism. It's more like World War II era cartoons come to life. With that said, the game looks absolutely fantastic. The game starts you out in a bright and sunny tropical environment, but as you progress through the game and as the plot gets darker in tone, so too does the environment get darker to reflect what's happening in the narrative. The soundtrack here is really well executed. It always seems to fit the environment that you're in and the tension of the scenario that you're currently on. Norah, the protagonist in this game, is incredibly well voice acted. I thought that was just a brilliant performance. Horror is not the best way to describe the narrative of this game, but there are a lot of supernatural and occult elements in it. There are two endings to this game, but it is a free choice made at the very end of the game, and it is not dictated by anything that you do throughout your play of the game. Overall, I thought this was a beautiful homage to the first-person puzzle games of the late 90s. The puzzles are perfectly challenging, requiring thorough explanation and a lot of thinking to get through them. The story is wonderful and set against graphics and music that really accentuate the themes of the story and serve the gameplay very well. I've been Gus, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my reviews, and let me know what you think of Call of the Sea if you decide to go play it for yourself.